Shalom and blessings, warriors of Yahuah and the truth. Tonight we are continuing on with video number 5. I've been really busy today, I apologize. It took me a while to get to this. Nimrod's secret identity, the greatest conspiracy on earth. The Magisterium. The great mystery Babylon has always been here and exists to control what the world believes. The Latin word magisterium means teaching authority, and the Greek word is didaskalia. The Yahush fathers of Christianity were seated at Alexandria, Egypt, or Mitzrayim, and referred to themselves as didaskalia. The Roman Catholic seat of power at Rome calls itself the Magisterium. Nimrod's original control over humanity was empowered by the dragon. The centralization of power gave the dragon the ability to control what everyone believes. That power and authority, the ability to control what everyone believes. That power and authority never lost its continuity, and it resides in the totalitarian magisterium the world calls the Roman Catholic Church. It has always been here since the founding of Babel, but has gone by many other names. The most recent form of this beastly world government grew from Roman roots, which openly worshipped the sun deity Apollo Sol Invictus. This is the fourth beast, blended with all the sorcery and witchcraft of the former three beasts. Constantine merged or synthesized diverse sun-worshipping bodies together into a universal pattern of behavior. Mithraism, Zoroastrianism, Hinduism, and Manichaean customs were blended into a new mold, and these pagan forms of witchcraft came together into a new shape. There is a baby in this dirty bathwater, and when we remove him from all the surrounding filth, you will recognize how the whole world has been deceived. The beastly world order channels Babel's power in three divisions: clergy, nobility, and laity. It has been so since the days of Nimrod, the great architect of the world order. This magisterium is Babel going under another name, and all the reigns of the earth are controlled as surely as a beast is controlled by a ring in its nose. Babel's world government poses as a religious institution. Over the centuries, it has set up a list of dogmas and requires its adherents to accept them with absolute devotion. This beast behaves like a chameleon, adopting the practices and symbols of indigenous populations and changing their meaning. Behind all the symbols and practices in the ancient religion of Babel, sun worship and the worship of the hosts of heaven, this organization considers itself the only path to salvation through its dogmas. Salvation is understood to be solely through the dispensation of 7 sacraments, available exclusively through the priesthood of the one true Mother Church. Mother Circus, Mother Circe. Failure to believe in any one dogma is grounds for excommunication. For many centuries, those who resisted the authority of this Mother Circus were burned at the stake as heretics. This magisterium is the source of such doctrines as purgatory, eternal suffering in hell, in fire, relic kissing, veneration of human remains, transubstantiation, bread wafer transforms into living body and blood of Yahusha, with words hoc est corpus muum. Statue veneration, kneeling before objects, like objects can do something for you. steeples, sun pillars, or bells. Worship of the host in a monstrance, sunburst object. Prayers to the dead, necromancy via rosaries. Monks, nuns, popes, priests, celibacy, indulgences, Trinity doctrine. Infant baptism, like they have a choice in the matter at that age when they're just born. They don't have a choice. You have to choose to be Yahuah's. You have to choose to go to the water and immerse. Apostolic succession, sacraments, crosses, symbol of sun deity everywhere throughout history. Replacement of name Yahuah to Lord or Baal. Adoption of Easter or Ishtar fertility festival with sunrise worship and egg, bunny, or fish symbols. Natalis Sol Invictus or Saturnalia transformed into Christmas. A celebration of Yahusha's birth, and much more. They are generally doing everything Yahuah ordered not to be done. You're not supposed to bring a tree in your house on Christmas. That's an abomination. It's right in the scriptures. They are generally doing everything while ignoring everything he told us to guard and observe, like his festival days and his Shabbats. His weekly Shabbats. They forbade the scriptures from the laity. Laity means the people, the bottom level of their world order of clergy, nobility, and laity, or three estates. This magisterium is the source from which Protestants have inherited many of their doctrines and behaviors. The belief in one God in three persons defines Catholicism according to Athanasius, one of the attendees of the Nicene Council in 325. When I was young, I was very into the Charm show. It was my favorite show, and it was always the power of three, and I thought that kind of strange. And I saw a symbol in one of these books the other day, and it reminded me of the show because it was on the cover of their magic book. I remember seeing it, and I hope I can find it. Yes, it's right here. The Tri-Ketra. That's the symbol that was on the spell book in the show that I used to watch as a kid. I don't watch it now, but it used to be my favorite. This magisterium is the source from which Protestants have inherited many of their doctrines and behaviors. The belief is, I read that. Athanasius was from Alexandria's Didascalia teaching authority and is dubbed the father of orthodoxy. Orthodoxy literally means upright teaching. So how can they be the father of orthodoxy when they don't teach the true name, or when they don't teach Yahuah, Yahusha, Ruach HaKodesh? Commandments, following the commandments. They don't teach that either. Nazarene, throughout history, were considered heretics by this teaching authority and were held to be anathema, worry of death. Nazarene worked to teach the truth and reject the teaching authority of the Magisterium and all those following its rebellious practices. Everything in the list above is witchcraft, carefully fed to the masses over many centuries. Abiding in Yahuah's word sets us free from false beliefs. So Yahusha said to those Yahudim who believed him, if you stay in my word, you are truly my taught ones, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Yehukanan 8:31-32. That the belief that Yahuah, who wrote the Torah, sent his son to abolish the Torah is illogical, insanity. The changing of the Torah by Constantine, prophesied at Daniel 7:25, does not change it. It is an attempt to change it. The seventh day of the week was blessed and set apart by Yahuah, so we see in the millennial reign from Shabbat to Shabbat, all flesh will bow to him. This will not be the day of the sun each week. Yahusha told us in the last days to pray your flight will not be in winter or on the Shabbat. Heaven and earth, or Shamayim and Aretz, are still here, and until these both pass away, we must stand only on the foundation laid by Yahusha. I can't find my place. since we are to walk even as he walked. Oh, I got this. Here. Okay. Okay, I found it. Constantine said, "Let us have nothing in common with the hostile rabble of the Yahudim. Since it seems the Nazarene live in Old Testament times. In contrast, to those who follow Constantine and the Circus Fathers' allegorical interpretations, how can we dismiss Isaiah 8:20 and this clear statement from 1 Yehuchanan 2:4-7? The one who says, 'I know him,' and does not guard his commands is a liar, and the truth is not in him. But whoever guards his word, truly the love of Elohim has been perfected in him. By this we know that we are in him. The one who says he stays in him ought himself also to walk even as he walked. Beloved, I write no fresh command to you, but an old command which you have had from the beginning. The old command is the word which you heard from the beginning. The old command is the word which you heard from the beginning was altered in 321 CE by Constantine and his Sunday. Were you taught these sacraments?" Oh, that is quite crazy. Okay. "Men invented the sacraments. You mean they made stuff up? Witchcraft." When the Star Trek crew pretends the cardboard fixtures they fiddle with are real, operational weapons, tractor beams, or transporters, those watching also pretend they are real. It is a fantasy. But while it is happening, everyone pretends it is real. Religion is the same imaginary pretense. Reality is where we need to be, so we will become sober. We need deprogramming. In Latin, the word hoc est corpus meum literally means, "This is my body." These words, spoken originally in Hebrew by Yahusha, were pointing to himself and his body of followers. We are his body, and he is the head of his body. The unleavened aspect represents that body. 1 Corinthians 5:7. Uncorrupted by the teachings of men. The teachings of men are referred to in Scripture as leaven. In is the head, and we, his body, partake of his sufferings. Instead of Passover, the circus calls the repeated ritual of remembering Yahusha's death the sacrifice of the Mass and a bloodless sacrifice. In this ritual, it was believed the common bread transubstantiates into the living body of Yahusha. The concept caused even more idolatry, such as genuflecting to the host. It encourages literal worship and prayer to a displayed host in an object called a monstrance. This violates the first, second, and third commandment. That was not nice, Roscoe. He put the ball in my lap. These teachings are abominations. Okay. These teachings are abominations in the cup of Circe, a name for the woman, aka Babel, causing the world to become drunken, mad, and such idolatry keeps the world unclean before the throne of Yahuah, incurring his blazing wrath on the day of Yahuah. Flee from the midst of Babel, and let each one save his life. Do not be cut off in her crookedness, for this is the time of the vengeance of Yahuah. To the recompense he is repaying her. Babel was a golden cup in the hand of Yahuah, making drunk all the earth. The Nazarene drank her wine. That is why the nations went mad. Jeremiah, Yirmiyahu 51:6-7. See also 2 Peter 3, Zechariah 14, Malachi 4, 1 Thessalonians 5, 2 Thessalonians 1, and Matthew 24, and Yoel or Joel 2. Worship of the hosts in a sunburnt monstrance is idolatry. And here's pictures of this. Is there not a lie in my right hand? Yeshayahu 44:20. Torah Institute advice. It can be ground to dust, so don't worship it unless you want to drink it. That was in the scriptures. Yes, it was. The worship of the hosts of heaven. Acts 7:42, involved the zodiac, the sun, moon, and stars, and one of the elements was the image of the crux, which depicted the equinoxes, the intersection of the celestial meridian and the celestial equator twice each year. The witness of Yahusha, Great Commission. There is a distinction between the true witness of Yahusha and the false one. Just before he departed, Yahusha instructed us to teach the name and obedience to his commandments to all nations. Constantine's Christianity does not hold to the witness of Yahusha. The behavior and symbols reflect Rome's indigenous practices of sun worship. It avoids anything to do with the culture of Yasharal, especially the Torah of Yahuah. Another way of saying witness or testimony is Great Commission. The false witness denies his name and expects everyone to tithe to his teaching authority while not teaching his commandments. Torah, love training. I'm sure as Nazarene we can all agree our mission is to be ready at every opportunity to share the name and the word with all who will listen, and not worry about selecting which kind of soil they may be. That's Yahusha's business with those who hear us. The mission has never changed since the giving of the Torah at Sinai. But this time we are empowered by Yahusha's Spirit to understand its goal of love. The same mission to the nations was given to Yasharal, but only given. It had not been received until Yahusha entered the heart of his people, the first Nazarene. If we look foolish to those in the world, so be it. We're the counterculture, choosing to live in peace or shalom with all men, by becoming servants rather than over-LORDs. Constantine's Christianity is not the testimony of Yahusha. It's Babel's Great Commission of believe and be lawless. Nazarene are to spread the word of restoration to favor. Our highest purpose for being here is not sitting in a pew believing something. We are to be used as vessels to plead that the lost be restored to favor by obeying Yahusha's orders for us. What were we told to do? We were commissioned as envoys to all men everywhere. There's a Hebrew idiom, going out and coming in. It has to do with our interaction with the outside world and how engaged we are with it. It's only by Yahusha's power we can do anything, and it can be premature to say his witness is unable to take different approaches. Next time we will be reading an anecdote. We are restored by Yahusha's blood atonement and repairers of the breach. I love you all, and I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. Now it's time to praise Yahuah. We should be praising Yahuah every day. Hallelujah. 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 Torah Rabbah Abba Yahuah. Torah Rabbah Abba Yahuah. Baruch Abba Bashem Yahuah. Baruch Abba Bashem Yahuah. I love you all, warriors of Yahuah in the truth. Have a good evening. Iber Tov.